I've got a couple of images on my desktop that we're going to use for this section. We're going to learn how to display images using HTML.
This video is brought to you by OppiePie's Academy.
Now, you can use any image you want, or I've included these with the course content if you want to use these specific images. So we have old interior 1, which looks like an old interior. And then we have old interior 2, which also looks like kind of an old interior. I wouldn't decorate quite this way myself. But these are small pictures that we can display easily within our document. So I've opened an HTML document here, given it the title Displaying Images, saved it to the desktop. And I'm just going to add an H1 here inside my house. So when I want to display an image, that image needs to be located with our HTML content. Now, it can be either on its own like this, or even you can put it in a folder, and this is often a good way to organize it, called images, and then you'll navigate through the folder in order to access the images. So let's say we wanted to display the first image. So we'll use the IMG or image tag, and that requires the source attribute, and it's the source attribute where you indicate where the image is. So in this case, it's in our images folder. Then I use a slash and I select the file name I want. So we have old interior 1 or old interior 2. We'll just select old interior 1 and we'll use brackets auto completion feature here. Now that's enough to actually display the image. If I go ahead and open up the browser, the image will be displayed with just that little bit of code. Now I can display the next image, again, using the same pattern. So let's say I use a break tag to put this image on the next line or underneath the original image. So folder name images, old interior 2.jpg. And you should note that you can display JPEGs, you can display GIF images, and also PNG or PNG images. Those are the only types you can display in the browser. There are other types like TIFF that are good for print, but not good for online. So there we have our two images displayed one on top of the other. So we can display an image rather easily, but you should also add a little bit more than just the source attribute. I highly recommend that you add an alt attribute. An alt attribute contains a text description of the image itself. So let's call this first one bedroom with bad wallpaper. And let's put the second one sitting room with worse wallpaper. Now, this doesn't actually do anything. If I refresh the browser, you don't see this text. But this text provides an alternative if the image can't be displayed. For example, the link is broken or something happens with the server. But more importantly, for people surfing the web who might have some type of visual disability and can't see the images, these descriptions are important because it gives them an idea of what that image is supposed to be, even though they can't see it. I'll also say that these alt tags or these alt attributes are really important for Google. When Google looks at an image, they look at these alt tags to figure out exactly the contents on the page and then index it. So you want to always use these alt tags. Now, just like any other element, image elements are accessible through CSS in HTML5. So we could say image here, use our image selector, and then use a style rule that works with images. For example, border 5 pixels solid orange, which is going to give us a 5 pixel solid orange border around the images. Or perhaps we want some padding after the image, or margin, so we'll say margin 10 pixels. And that'll give us 10 pixels all the way around the image to space them out. So with images, we're going to use the image tag, the all-important source attribute, to display the image based on its location. In this case, our images are in the images folder. We're going to use an alt tag, so if someone has a broken link and can't see the image or is visually impaired, they still get a description. And we can use CSS to style the image further if we desire.